Hello everyone and welcome. One of the earlier projects I did on this channel was a 3D printed snowblower. This took a few attempts to get right, but by the end I had something I'd call a working snowblower. If you want to check out the full video, the link's right here. By the end of this project, it was clear that the robot platform I was using that I built a long time ago was clearly lacking in the ability to support the snowblower. So with that being said, I intended to make a larger robot that would support the snowblower and maybe some other implements that I could use throughout the year as sort of a lawn maintenance robot prototype. Since the original video, I started a few different larger platform robots, but never really liked what came of them and wasn't really happy with how they worked out, so I never really put that much time and effort in them. Then, in a blink of an eye, we're covered in snow. With the recent snowfall, I felt inspired to get back at this project and I come up with this. It's not necessarily larger than the original platform, however it's a lot heavier and will be a lot more powerful. I have two 775 brushed motors in there for now, and if it all works out I plan on going brushless in the future. For this robot I've designed a set of completely 3D printed tracks. These tracks will be made up of 3 pieces, and then those 3 pieces are stacked as long as I need them to be, and it's all held together with 3D printed pins. This track is driven by a standard 1/2 inch pitch sprocket or number 40 chain. The idea being is if this works out and I want to build a larger platform, I can make all of this out of steel and just off-the-shelf parts with some minor modifications. The focus of this video is originally going to be the larger 775 powered robot, but that's taking a lot longer than originally anticipated, so I'm going to give you a snippet into my testing of the tracks for this, which is going to cost me a little bit more time, but I wanted to get a video out to you guys, so here we go. And I figured since it needed an upgrade anyways, what better platform than the previous robot platform. Assembling the tracks is relatively easy, although time consuming. Just these 3 main pieces, and yeah, the pins push into the holes and away we go. To note, I did drill out the intermediate links with a 4mm drill just to kind of clear out any hairs or anything that are in there. Everything's together and I head outside and off to a decent start. It doesn't fall apart immediately. However, it doesn't take very long for me to see the limitations of this setup, the biggest being ground clearance. As you can see here, it seems to get hung up on the snow a fair amount. I think I can solve this problem with one quick adjustment on each side though. I just got to flip these track adjusters around and it should hold the whole body up. Immediately I see an improvement with this. I couldn't make it down this trail at all with this thing before, and now it's working fine. I can even dive into the fresh powder where it's not packed down, and it seems to have very little issues up until a point anyways, which isn't too bad considering this isn't really designed for this in the first place. I'm going to attempt that little hill I climbed before, and no issues there either. Looks like this is a definite improvement. Well, it looks like I almost get stuck, but then it manages to chew its way out. These tracks seem to offer a decent amount of traction considering they don't have much for paddles on them. They're only about 3mm deep. After climbing through the snow though, I started to notice it was clicking and clunking a little bit and it seemed to be riding up on the sprocket. A quick look seems that the snow is packing in, so in future versions I should put holes for clear outs so that the sprocket can push the snow out instead of just packing it in there. Otherwise I might cover the whole chain in paraffin wax. After the first run, I decided I was going to put this to work and printed off a little plow for it. I haven't weighed it one way or the other, but I'm pretty sure that this weighs a little bit less than the actual RC car tires did. Although they have increased traction, it doesn't really have the weight to push anything. It doesn't help that it's slightly above freezing and all this snow is wet and packy. Perfect for snowmen though. Or even better, snowball fights. It seems to have decent traction on the hard pack though, you know, in the driveway or on trails where people walk, which is about the intended purpose for these tracks. So I guess that's a win. And with all that, I think I can call this a partial success at least. We'll find out how well they hold up to a 775 motor. Now if I have too much of an issue, I can always make it a double link and make another sprocket and just double it up on the shaft, make the shaft a little longer, and those bigger motors should have no issue driving a wider track and heavier system anyways. And well, that's about all I got for you this week. I know it's a short one, but I've been kind of in between a bunch of things. I intended to continue on with the supercharger videos, but things are getting cold and I'm having a hard time working out in the garage, yada yada yada, and that whole project's kind of hard on me, so I'm gonna take a break on that and focus on a few more winter oriented projects for a little bit. I will definitely return to that. I kind of gotta figure out a few things anyways, so I'll need a little bit of time to let that kind of sort itself out in my mind. So I apologize for anyone who is waiting for part 4 of that series. It will be coming, it just might be a little bit. At any rate, I'm going to cut this video off here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I'll be back soon with more. Have a good one, guys.